Hey guys, it's Sam and I run the YouTube channel Chalice and Chains, and I wanted to just do a quick video kind of in response to the most recent Roll Up and Die episode, where one of the questions was about, can you have a lawful good villain? And so, I would say quickly, yes, the answer is absolutely you can have a lawful good villain. And kind of just a quick scenario that comes to mind is like, if let's say, the party is hired by or is asked by, I don't know, let's say a group of elves. Okay. They say, we need some adventurers to go into this temple that was, controlled by hobgoblins. And no, let's say it's lizard folk. All right. So you go into the swamp to recover a relic that was stolen from the elves by the lizard folk, okay? So you go in, you go to the temple, you kill some lizard folk, you kill the lizard folk shaman, you take the item, and then you come back and give it to the elves. The elves are like, yay, you guys are heroes, thank you. Now our forest won't be, wrecked by this terrible curse. So great. So you go on, you move on to whatever mission, and 3 or 4 episodes later, you are confronted by a paladin. And this paladin has been hired by the lizard folk, or maybe he is a lizard folk paladin. I mean, it seems kind of a weird combination, but why not, right? To seek out the people that stole this artifact, this relic, and either seek vengeance or seek justice, okay? He's lawful good. He is following his code because what you didn't know, you didn't bother to ask is, well, all right, what is this relic and why was it stolen from the elves? Okay, well, so maybe the elves actually long, long ago had cursed the swamp that the lizard folk had inhabited because they were natural enemies, and it prevented the lizard folk from leaving the swamp. Well, once the lizard folk figured out a way to get it back, now all of a sudden they could leave the swamp. And so they want vengeance upon the elves, or they want to be able to just leave. They want to find a new homeland. They hate this swamp. It's cursed, right? So they're preparing to leave. And that's what you catch them in the middle. You see this, this mass of lizard folk, moving, leaving the swamp. And the elves have said, oh, this is an army massing to attack us, right? So your whole thing is, well, I'm protecting the elves. But it turns out that you have just foiled the one hope of these lizard folk to get out of their own curse, inflicted upon them by the elves. So they have, figured out a way to get this paladin to help them, okay? And so this paladin now will stop at nothing unless, he can help get the relic back and help them leave this cursed swamp. Now, this is a villain that could very well potentially not look like a villain at first. He's a paladin, so he could figure out how to get into your party, get into your good graces. Maybe he tries to work with you, and steer you towards this path of discovery where you find out that mission that you went on 3 or 4 sessions earlier wasn't what you thought it was. And he sees what you do. And if you come to the realization and you do what he wants, and you help, steal the relic back from the elves and bring it back to the lizard folk and whatever, then great, maybe he doesn't kill you. But if you start deviating from that quest, maybe every time you try to take action that would get you further away from his goals, things happen. Obstacles get in your way. Warriors and other, assassins, NPCs, whatever, start showing up, and for reasons that you don't understand, right? So I think that's a good idea of not only a lawful good villain, but maybe even a lawful good vengeance villain in a sense. So So I'm gonna let the guys over at Roll Up and Die, take a look at this, see if they'll comment on it, because I would like to hear their thoughts. But take into consideration the next time you make a villain, why not make them a lawful good villain? And one thing I would recommend that you do is take a look at the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson, because the overlord or the overarching villain in that, as you get later into the books, you find out that they actually have a motivation to try to save the world from something even worse. And they're portrayed as the villain early on, but they have an interesting kind of reason for doing what they're doing. So anyway, I hope you guys find this helpful. Definitely let me know what you guys think about it. What kind of lawful good villains you guys have used, if any. And let's see if we can start a discussion. So happy gaming all.